Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Gyan Sagar. Today we are going to learn about cognitive psychology. This is one of the subject of MS Psychology. I will be uploading a series of video covering all unit of cognitive psychology. Today we will begin to learn the third unit. In the third unit, we will cover all the topic which given in this unit. I have already covered unit 1 and 2 in my previous video. I hope you have already watched it. If not, I will tag this video in the description. Go and watch that first. In this video, I will be covering third unit. In this third unit, we will cover all topic one by one. Neuropsychological basis of learning and memory. John Hamilton has suggested it's a sense of floating of the brain too quickly. The brain has this disruption and short-term memory isn't covering into long-term memory. ब्रेन में क्विकली फ्लोटिंग हो जाता, हौच पौच जिसको से हौच पौच हो जाता और ब्रेन डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है और शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी से लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं पहुंच पाती है. दैट इज ए ब्रेन डेफिसिट. मेमोरी एंड लर्निंग. फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन. व्हाट इज ए रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन लर्निंग एंड मेमोरी. लर्निंग और मेमोरी के बीच क्या संबंध है. लर्निंग. व्हाट इज लर्निंग. लर्निंग इज ए प्रोसेस ऑफ एक्वायरिंग new information, whereas memory, what is memory? Memory refers to the persistence of learning in the state that can be revealed at a later time. लर्निंग एक प्रक्रिया है जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हम एक्वायर करते हैं और मेमोरी जिसे हम बाद में यूज करते हैं ज़रूरत पड़ने पर. To put in another way, learning happens when a memory is created, strengthened by repetition. This need not involve conscious attempt to learn. इसमें conscious होने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती है. रिपीट जो चीज़ हम देखते हैं बार बार वो चीज़ हमें याद हो जाती है. Learning and memory can subdivided into major hypothetical state. Learning and memory can be divided into 3 categories: encoding, storage and retrieval. Encoding जो हम लोग देखते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन आता है उसको स्टोर करने की जो प्रक्रिया है वो इनकोडिंग कहलाती है. स्टोरेज जो इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर हो जाता है मेमोरी में वो स्टोरेज. और रिट्राइवल जो हम लोग बाद में यूज करते हैं. द इनकोडिंग स्टेज हैज 2 सेपरेट स्टेप, एक्विजिशन एंड कंसोलिडेशन. इनकोडिंग 2 स्टेज में डिवाइडेड है, एक्विजिशन एंड कंसोलिडेशन. एक्विजिशन रजिस्टर input in sensory buffer and sensory analysis stage, while consolidation create a stronger representation over time के लिए. Storage the result of acquisition and consolidation creates maintain a permanent record होता. Consolidation. Finally, retrieval utilize stored information. Retrieval जो है स्टोर इंफॉर्मेशन को यूटिलाइज करता है टू क्रिएट ए कॉन्शियस रिप्रेजेंटेशन और टू एग्जीक्यूट ए लर्न बिहेवियर लाइक ए मोटर एक्ट। Memory and brain, the field of
The field of cognitive neuroscience studies the brain and memory, exploring how different brain regions and neural systems are involved in forming. Great, let's get going. Here's one of
the field of cognitive and experimental psychology of memory is rich with theory and data and has produced a consistent set of concepts about the organization of human memory. The neuroscience study of memory are important both of understand how they are contribute to general theory of memory and investigate how a specific neural circuit system enable and learning retention of a specific form of knowledge. Human memory, brain damage, and amnesia. What is amnesia? Deficit in memory as a function of brain damage, disease, psychological trauma are known as amnesia. एमनेसिया ये ब्रेन डैमेज और डिजीज जो है उसके चलते हम याद भूलने की जो बीमारी होती है वो एमनेसिया कहलाती है। एमनेसिया कैन इन्वॉल्व आइदर द इनएबिलिटी टू लर्न न्यू थिंग और लॉस ऑफ प्रीवियस नॉलेज। एमनेसिया में हम लोग सीखने में परेशानी हो सकती है, एमनेसिया में सीखने में परेशानी हो सकती है और जो ज्ञान पहले से है वो भूल जाता है। इट कैन डिफरेंटली अफेक्टेड शॉर्ट टर्म वर्किंग मेमोरी एंड लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी एबिलिटी। We have learned already memory divided into 3 sections: short term memory, long term memory, sensory memory, short term memory and long term memory। तो ये एमनेसिया जो है तीनों मेमोरी को इफेक्ट करती है डिफरेंट तरीक़ा से। शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी से लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में जाने नहीं देती है इंफॉर्मेशन, जिससे हम लोगों को भूलने की समस्या हो जाती है। Much compelling information about organization of human memory during amnesia was first derived from medical treatment that left patients amnesic. The history is fascinating and so let begin by turning back and clock more than 50 years. Brain surgery and memory loss. In late 1940 and early 1950 centuries, surgeons attempted to treat neurological psychiatric disease using a variety of neurosurgical procedures, including prefrontal लोबोटोमी, कॉर्पस कैलोसोटोमी, एमेंगडालोटोमिक्स and temporal lobe rejection। 1940 और 50 के दशक में न्यूरोसर्जिकल इन एमनेशिया की बीमारी के लिए सर्जरी करना शुरू किया, ये ऑपरेशन, जिसमें एमेंगडाला को रिमूव कर दिया, प्रीफ्रंटल लोब को हटा दिया सर्जिकल के माध्यम से। एमेंगडाला, प्रीफ्रंटल, टेम्पोरल लोब, ये सब को हटा कर दिया सर्जरी के माध्यम से, जिससे पेशेंट में सुधार हुआ। In 1953, at a medical conference, the neurosurgeon William Witcher Scoville from the Montreal Neurological Institute reported on bilateral removal। ये 1953 में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस में स्कॉर्विले ने अपना प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाया एपिलेप्टिक पेशेंट पर। स्कॉर्विले, साइकोलॉजिस्ट ब्रेंडा मिलनर डिड द न्यूरोसाइकोलॉजिकल एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ 10 पेशेंट। उन्होंने 10 पेशेंट पर एग्जामिन किया। Milner found that memory impairment in patients having medial temporal lobe rejection as a part of their treatment were in relation to how much of the medial temporal lobe was removed. The further posterior along the medial temporal lobe rejection was the worst amnesia। द केस हिस्ट्री ऑफ पेशेंट। HM नाम का एक पेशेंट था जिसे एपिलेप्सिक बीमारी से पीड़ित था, जिसे मिर्गी कहते हैं, मिर्गी की बीमारी से पीड़ित था। उसके सर्जरी के द्वारा सर्जरी में टेम्पोरल लोब को हटा दिया, उसके साथ ही साथ एमेंगडाला का भी कुछ भाग को हटा दिया गया था ऑपरेशन के माध्यम से, जैसे उसकी एपिलेप्टिक में तो कमी आई, मिर्गी की बीमारी में उसे सुधार हुआ, लेकिन उसे एक प्रॉब्लम हो गया बाद में। वो जो चीज़ देखता उसे याद नहीं रहता। फर्स्ट टाइम अब टीवी देख रहे हैं, उसके बाद टीवी में क्या देखें याद नहीं। अभी पानी पिए हैं, फिर बाद में याद नहीं था हम पानी पिए थे। किसी से बात किए हैं, बात किए, याद नहीं रहा। उनका वो ये था कि मेमोरी जो शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी से लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में स्टोर मेमोरी नहीं होता था, ये उनमें समस्या पाई गई। Following recovery from this major neurosurgical procedure, HM's epilepsy did not improve. The surgery was a success both with regard to his surviving the risk associated with any surgery of brain with regard to the epilepsy. However, physician, family and friends began to realize that HM was experiences new difficulty. उसमें तो वो मिर्गी की बीमारी में सुधार हुआ, लेकिन नई समस्या उत्पन्न हो गया। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ए ईयर एंड ए हाफ ईयर आफ्टर सर्जरी which was performed in September 1953, HM display clear problem with his memory. HM was 29 years old, reported his age of 27, H.M. would say he did not remember ever meeting certain individual even when he actually spoke to them a few minutes earlier, and they merely left the room, returning after a short delay. कुछ याद नहीं रहता था, नया चीज़. Amnesia and medial temporal lobe. Which region or regions of medial temporal lobe were critical for supporting long-term memory ability lost in HM? HM नामक व्यक्ति था तो लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी एबिलिटी खो चुका था. The medial temporal lobe area includes the amygdala, hippocampus, and entorhinal cortex surrounding parahippocampus prefrontal area. ऑपरेशन में ये सब हिप्पोकैम्पस एमाग्डाला के आसपास के क्षेत्र को भी हटा दिया गया था, जिससे ये सारी समस्या HM में पाए गया. फॉर द पास्ट 40 years, साइंटिस्ट स्टडीज HM used surgical report of his lesions to guide theories of memory, amnesia, and their neural base. Reported by Scoville, who performed the surgery, indicating that HM's hippocampus in each hemisphere had been removed. हिप्पोकैम्पस के आसपास को भाग को भी हटा दिया गया था. HM's brain and surgical lesions were re-evaluated, which improved accuracy with high-resolution neuroimaging methods such as magnetic resonance imaging, MRI के नाम से हम लोग नहीं जानते हैं. MRI is damage to the hippocampus sufficient to block the information of new long term memory. हिप्पोकैम्पस मेमोरी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है. जो मेमोरी में आने के लिए हिप्पोकैम्पस हटाने से इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ न्यू लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी से जाने से रुक रहा था. कंसीडर अनदर पेशेंट RB, एक तो दूसरा पेशेंट RB नामक था, who lost his memory after an ischemic episode, reduction of blood of brain. उसके ब्रेन में ब्लड रुकने से बीमारी हो गई थी. ड्यूरिंग बाईपास सर्जरी, उनके बाईपास सर्जरी हुई, उसके बाद से उनको ये परेशानी शुरू हुई. RB डेवलप्ड डेंस एंट्रोग्रेड एमनेसिया सिमिलर टू HM's. दोनों की सिमिलर बीमारी हो गई. These findings in patient RB support the idea that the hippocampus is crucial in new information long-term memory. हिप्पोकैम्पस इम्पॉर्टेंट है लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी बनाने के लिए. RB's case also support the distinction between area that store long-term memory and role of hippocampus in forming new memory. न्यू मेमोरी बनाने में हिप्पोकैम्पस की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होती है. उसमें HM नामक व्यक्ति में हिप्पोकैम्पस, एमाग्डाला, टेम्पोरल लोब सारे को हटा दिया गया था. उनकी एपिलेप्सी की बीमारी तो ठीक हुई थी, लेकिन भूलने की समस्या उत्पन्न हो गई. memory consolidation and hippocampus. We have already learned hippocampus is crucial for long-term memory creating. Memories are memory consolidation and hippocampus. Memories are solidified in long-term stored over the day. The process is referred to as consolidation, an old concept that refers to how long-term memory develops over time after initial acquisition. मेमोरी लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में जमा होने में मेमोरी को हफ्ता महीना सालों तक जमा रहते हैं. मेमोरी को जमा होने में सालों महीनों लगते हैं. Because damage to the medial temporal lobe and do not wipe out most of the declarative memory formed over a lifetime. We know that hippocampus is not repository of stored knowledge. Rather, medial temporal lobe appears to support the process of forming new memory. That is, the hippocampal region is critical for the consolidation of information in long-term memory. Long-term memory के लिए hippocampus महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाती है. The strongest evidence that hippocampus is involved in consolidation comes from the fact that amnesic have retrograde amnesia for memories from 1 to a few years prior to damage to the medial temporal lobe and diencephalon, a pattern that does not support a storage role but rather a role in consolidation. Anterior and lateral temporal lobe and memory. If, as suggested earlier, new cortex is crucial for the storage of memory, then it should be possible to demonstrate retrograde amnesia with cortical damage, even though most amnesia are anterograde. In line with the proposal, amnesia can be caused by damage or region of the neurocortex. One region of special interest in a temporal neurocortex outside the medial temporal lobe, lesions that damage lateral cortex of the interior temporal lobe near interior pole lead to dense amnesia that include severe retrograde amnesia. Some patients with dense retrograde amnesia might still form new long-term memory. This type of amnesia is called isolated retrograde amnesia. This type of amnesia is called isolated retrograde amnesia. Animal models of memory. Neuropsychologist study on humans and monkeys. Studies in monkeys with lesions to hippocampus and surrounding cortex have been invaluable in learning a visible contribute of the medial temporal lobe to prime memory system. In general, goal of such research is to develop animal model of human memory and amnesia. Though research such model are providing key information on a relation between specific memory, and brain structure. Several animal species ranging from invertebrate to monkey have been investigated for clue to human memory and its functional neuroanatomy and neurobiology. It is likely that monkey will contribute the most directly applicable knowledge about human process at the system level given as the similar among the primate brain. We must always keep in mind, however, the gross organization and function capability of brain of monkey and human differ significantly. Thus, animal modes of cognitive process like memory are perhaps most informative when linked with the studies. One of the key questions in memory research was how much the hippocampus alone we have learned hippocampus, HM-Rogi, about HM-Rogi. One of the key question in memory research was how much hippocampus alone. कितना hippocampus research में. Compare the surrounding structure in the medial temporal lobe. Participated in the memory deficit of patient like HM. In other words, what structure of medial temporal lobe system are involved in the episodic memory? For example, does the amygdala influence memory deficit in amnesia? Data from amnesic indicate that amygdala is not part of brain episodic memory, although it has a role although it has a role in emotion and emotional memory. That is, we are seeing in figure 1.3.3 Broca's area of brain source. In this figure 43 point, that is a part of temporal area. एंड ये लीजन, इसमें घाव किया गया है, घाव बनाया गया बंदरों का दिमाग में. दे फाउंड दैट लीजन्स ऑफ हिप्पोकैम्पस एंड एमंगडाला प्रोड्यूस द मोस्ट सीवियर मेमोरी डेफिसिट only when cortex surrounding the region was there also lesioned. When lesions of hippocampus and amygdala were made but the surrounding cortex was spared, the presence or absence of amygdala lesion did not affect the monkey's memory. amygdala के presence and amygdala के घाव होने से मंकी की मेमोरी में कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ता है. The amygdala then could not be part of the system that support acquisition of long-term memory. इससे ये पता चलता है कि amygdala लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी क्रिएशन में कोई भूमिका नहीं निभाती. इन subsequent investigation, Zola and his colleague selectively created lesions of surrounding cortex in perianal, entorhinal and parahippocampal regions. In summary, the data from animals are highly consistent with evidence from amnesic patients such as RM and HM that applicate the hippocampal system in the medial temporal lobe and the associated cortex as critical for forming long-term memory, जो long-term memory में सहायक है. Lesions and damage the hippocampus directly or damage the input-output relation of hippocampus with the neurocortex produce severe memory impairment. The amygdala is not a crucial part of system of episodic memory but is important for emotional memory. Amygdala क्रूशियल पार्ट ऑफ द एपिसोडिक मेमोरी नहीं, लेकिन इमोशनल मेमोरी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है. एनिमल डाटा मैच वेल विथ दोज फ्रॉम एमनेसिक विथ रिगार्ड टू द प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी प्रोसेस आफ्टर medial temporal lobe has been damaged. Monkey memory deficit in the delay mismatch to simple task became more pronounced as interval between the same and test increased. Imaging the human brain and memory. Human brain and memory. Human brain. What is human brain and memory work together? The work described so far has dealt with evidence from human and animals with brain damage. These data are consistent with regard to the role of medial temporal lobe The result are a quizit The result of quite provocative and are confirming and extending the findings from LESM studies. Episodic encoding and retrieval. Given the purpose role of hippocampus system in encoding memory in long-term store, research have eagerly addressed this issue using positron emission tomography and functional matrix resonance imaging. The question was whether the hippocampus become active when encoding new information. The question was whether the hippocampus become active when encoding new information. These investigations observed that right hippocampus region was activated during encoding of the face, but not during recognition. Hippocampus become active when encoding new information. These investigations observed that right hippocampus region was activated during encoding of the face, but not during recognition. Where retrieval process should not be engaged. These data consistent with those from amnesic patients who had medial temporal lobe damage that lead to anterograde amnesic but represent distant retrograde memory. Encoding also activated the left prefrontal cortex, whereas recognition activated right prefrontal cortex. Thus, we have more support for the hippocampus role in memory, as well as the possible support hemisphere asymmetry in memory function. Encoding and retrieval process were lateralized in the left and right hemisphere, respectively, giving rise to model with acronym of HERA, which stand for hemisphere encoding retrieval asymmetry. Symmetry encoding and retrieval. The encoding and retrieval of semantic knowledge also have been studied using functional neuroimaging. Significant new findings have been uncovered. Procedure memory encoding and retrieval. In memory function, there are three: encoding, storage, and retrieval. We have learned perceptual, priming, implicit, explicit memory. The Daniel Sacher and his colleague at Harvard University investigated neural bases of perceptual priming in a PET study. The scanning was performed only during the task subject manifested impact priming behaviorally. The hippocampus was not activated then, even though implicit perceptual priming was obtained. This conclusion from this and other studies are that implicit and explicit retrieval of information is observed by separate brain systems together with the face encoding data, Hexby and culling obtained by pet and animal and human lesion data. A reasonable conclusion is that hippocampus encode new information. Hippocampus encode new information, but also retrieve recent information when explicit recollection is involved. Perhaps more interesting, cellular based of learning and memory. Cellular based learning and memory. How does the activity of different brain regions change as memory are formed? Most models of cellular basis of memory hold that it is a result of change in the strength of synaptic interaction among neurons in neural networks. How would synaptic strength be altered to enable learning and memory? One basic mechanism is Hebb's law. Hebb's has suggested that Hebb's has proposed a rule that is called Hebb's rule. Hebb's rule states that if a synapse between two neurons is separately activated about the same time, post synaptic neuron fire, the structure of chemistry of neuron change and synapse will be strengthened. This is known as Hebbian learning. That's it. And long-term potentiation memory performance. This effect of enhanced response can last for weeks or even longer, suggesting to many that this could be a mechanism for long-term learning and retention. Disrupting the process of long-term potentiation also disrupt learning and remembering, chemically blocking LTP in the hippocampus of normal mice impair their ability to demonstrate normal place learning. Thus, blocking LTP prevent normal spatial memory. In a similar way, genetic manipulation that block an cascade of molecular triggers for LTP also impair spatial learning. Bye bye.